Let's talk about feminism.
Yeah, why not? It's not like you're going to get your own basic definition wrong. I looked ahead, she totally gets it wrong.
What is feminism? It's the movement and ideology of equal rights for both women and men.
Told you. It's a new level of retarded where they can't even get their own dictionary definition correct. The actual definition states, for women's equality. And why exactly do you have all the letters of feminism like it's cut out of a newspaper as if you're sending some kind of ransom note through the post?
Let's bold, underline, and emphasize equal.
Let's note and underline women's equality. It doesn't once mention men or the other fruity genders Tumblr has made up.
We want equal political, economic, and social rights.
In which way do you not have these? I mean, fair enough, it sounds like you're from a country in which English isn't the first language. So you may very well live in a country that doesn't have equal rights, but that's not true in the West.
Again, bold, underline, and emphasize equal.
Again, emphasis on women's rights.
Having lived in a developing country, I do realize, see, and feel inequality faced by females.
You might, but women that don't live in developing countries don't see inequalities faced by women, because there aren't any.
I would hear wives scared that their husbands would leave them.
Oh, that's tragic, hearing that wives are scared their husbands will leave them. Because I hear men are worried their wives will leave them. Because if they do, they can take pretty much everything they own through the divorce courts.
As they aren't able to bear a son. Every day, women and girls are subjected to stereotypes and expectations, which leads to unequal treatment, hence inequality.
Right, and men just float past on a cloud of no fucks at all, right? You think men aren't expected to be the alpha male, because believe me, we are. Fair enough, it comes easier to some of us, like the handsome gentlemen that watch my channel. It's equal to feel the need to make an effort, because men feel that need too.
But that's the problem. We tend to focus on how women are suffering. We tend to victimize women.
No, feminists tend to victimize women. Everyone else just doesn't see them as victims.
Without actually noticing that everyone suffers from stereotypes, suffers from expectations of society.
No, it's little bitches who can't hack life in society that suffer from the expectations of society. And usually it's not societal expectations, it's the expectations of their peer group. Society expects nothing, that is why there is a welfare system. And there's no time limit on the use of that welfare system. It's there to help people that are just down on their luck, but does get abused by the perpetually inept.
And because we forget, as time goes by, feminism is no longer a movement of being equal, but instead a movement of women's superiority.
I agree. Wow, that very rarely happens. Well, you know what they say about monkeys, typewriters, and Shakespeare? One of them eventually had to get something right, but yes, feminism has become about women's superiority.
The idea that women is bigger, more important, and more than men. This way of thinking ruins the idea of equality, hence ruins feminism.
I'd have to disagree. To suggest that it ruins the idea of equality suggests that feminism is synonymous with equality, and that's just not the case.
Because feminism is not the fight to prove or show women are better. It is also not the fight for women to have more privileges than men.
Kind of what it's become though. It might not be the definition, but it's what the people who call themselves feminists actually go out and do.
It is the fight for equality, gender equality, which includes all genders.
Again, that's not the definition. Either use and adhere to the correct definition or stop using the word. And when you say all genders, just fuck off. There are two. Two. It's not a very big number to grasp. It comes just after 1 and before 3. It looks kind of like a swan.
With that being said, how are we able to achieve equality if we only magnify problems faced by one gender?
So we need to completely abandon feminism, which only advocates for women's rights, and support a movement which supports men's rights. Is that right? Because that's what I'm taking away from this.
However, the solution is clear. How gender inequality can be eradicated is if we really start by seeing every single human being as equal, regardless of what gender they define as.
Well, I do, unless you identify as like quasi-pseudo-sexual, in which case I'm going to kick you right in the shin.
We also certainly can empower women without belittling men. We can empower our gender without belittling another.
I don't know if this is possible. I mean, either way, it's never been done before. I've never seen feminism move forward without belittling men. I demand proof.
We certainly can, instead should speak out against all kinds of abuse, whether it's sexual, emotional, or physical.
Well, you won't get any argument from me. You'll find a shocking amount of domestic abuse cases are females attacking males. And frankly, I think these cases should be dealt with more harshly than male on female, because men lack the resources that are available to women in escaping this kind of abuse.
And when I say all kinds, this also includes the abuse received by all genders.
Like men, women, and that other gender, children. Fucking idiot. I have to admit though, it's nice to see a feminist who hasn't got her head firmly wedged up her own arse to the point she can't even hear other arguments. She does seem to be able to see some of the hypocrisy flying around. I actually think this one is salvageable. Given her emphasis on other genders and the fact that to this day people still comment on the video that I originally asked this question, I feel compelled to ask it again. What unique and interesting gender identities can you think of? The ones I can dig out of the mountain of attack helicopter comments I'm bound to get will be featured at the end of my next video, and as always, thank you for your time.